You gave me time when no one gave me time of day. You looked deep inside while the rest of the world looked away. You smiled at me when there were just frowns everywhere. You gave me love when nobody gave me a prayer.
Hi everyone, good to see you again on Lost on the Way Home. I have a question for you today. How's your love walk? How is love working in your life? Are you out there searching for love? Are you looking for love to make everything better? Did you know that love is not something that we get, but something that we give? Love is really, true love is about sacrifice and about giving. And one of the things that's so prevalent in our country and in our world today is divorce. People don't realize how to make marriage work, and they look to all different avenues to try to get love or extract love from another person to fill up all their voids. Today on our show, we have Eddie and Carolyn Brimm, and they come to us from Yorktown Assembly of God. Nice to see you today.
Yes.
And you know, marriage is difficult today in itself. I think because of all these distractions going on and all the things that they say that you can have, and then you feel restricted in a marriage. And if somebody isn't completely, let's say, in a marriage, if a person really isn't giving the other person what they want, they just think it's okay for them to just pick up and walk out because you're not giving me what I think you should.
Right.
Meanwhile, people don't understand that true love is really all about sacrifice and about giving.
Right. Yes.
And I think it's an epidemic today that marriages are not staying together. And they break up, and I really do think that the enemy is infiltrated this sacred union that Jesus really ordained for us to have, because when you have a mother and a father raising a family, which seems to be, right, it's like not politically correct anymore to have a family.
Right, yes.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like that? That seems like marriage is under attack.
Yes.
Right. Well, so what happens with the marriage nowadays, as I see, it's about selfishness. People become focused on themselves, their needs. And, one of the things that you learn from the Word of God is that, you're supposed to sacrifice, like you said, on focus. If you put the other person's need before yours, then your needs are met.
That's so true.
Yes, it is.
And if people would just understand that,
Right.
it's so true. Your needs do get met.
Yes,
And whether the other person does it or not, Jesus will always find a way to meet your need.
Right.
Always.
Always.
But I know that Jesus is planted solid in your marriage, but there was a time before you actually had your encounters with the Lord, that you were married without Jesus, basically.
Right.
So
yes.
tell us a little bit about what it was like to have a marriage without Christ.
It was rough. I mean, we had ups and downs that were in a normal marriage, but the way we handled them, our ups and downs are a whole lot different than the way we do it now.
Yes.
Ah, that's very
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
So you would say that handling your marriage now, you do it a lot differently. You're doing things differently.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And because of that, it's working.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So I know that we were speaking before, and you were previously married once before,
Right.
and you were almost married.
Yep.
Just tell me a little bit about those relationships.
Mine was, I met her, and we considered ourselves in love, but we met in August. We got married in October. It lasted for 2.5 years. I put her through school. Once she got her certification, she up and left, and I was just left out there by myself.
Wow. So that must have
That
been
was
devastating.
Yes, I mean
Devastating.
that hurt hard. That really caused me to put up a wall and not trust. It brought bitterness.
Wow.
It brought a whole lot of things with it. Yeah.
And in your situation, you weren't quite married.
No.
You were engaged.
We're engaged, yeah. We were like, it was good in the beginning, and then I started finding out he was cheating. And
Ugh.
the way I found out was horrible. It was just like I caught him a couple times, and and I just knew that the marriage was never going to happen. I knew it. I knew it in my heart.
But you still stayed.
But I still stayed.
Why
Yeah.
do you think that was?
I guess insecurity.
See, this is what we do.
Yes.
I may not get any better. I'm not worth
Yes.
more than that.
Yeah.
All these wrong ways of thinking, and we put up with that.
Yeah, because when a man does that, it makes you feel like, what's wrong with me? Am I not pretty enough? Am I not good enough? We've been together so long. Why now? And I feel like you just wasted your years, and
But yet you stay.
But
Women do
yes,
this all the time.
yes, yes.
Listen to me. You are worth every bit of the right kind of love. Don't settle and accept a low standard of living. And somebody who is cheating on you and won't give their heart completely and fully. You deserve somebody who is going to love you completely and fully. Don't fall for that lie. Get away from that man if he's cheating on you.
Amen.
So really, seriously,
Yes.
just walk
It's true.
away, because
Yeah.
there's somebody out there that's looking for
Right.
somebody who they can treat well.
Yes.
Those people are out there.
Yes.
It's just changing your perspective and finding the right person.
Yes.
In a perhaps a different venue. So now you guys meet. You were working at the same place, basically,
Yes.
right? Was it West Ledge over there,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
nursing
the
home
nursing
over there?
home.
And,
Yeah, that's
Route
where we
6?
met.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you met and you marry, but the problem is you go into a marriage without handling your baggage.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
So what was the issue, you think, in that one issue that was hurting
Trust.
things?
Yeah, the trust. The
Trust.
trust issue.
Insecurity.
Yeah.
Right. So what somebody else did to you, now you're bringing into your
Yeah,
marriage.
that's right. Yeah.
And now you're going to make each other pay for what the
Yes.
other ones
That's
did.
right.
You
That's
see
right.
people
That's
do
right.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that, that's going to come up and affect you because of hurt and betrayal. And because it wasn't resolved with the other people, now the new marriage is going to suffer for that.
That's right.
So what were some of the things that went on during your marriage through the turmoil?
Fighting.
Yeah, a lot of fighting.
A lot of fighting?
Yeah, sometimes physical at points.
Sometimes physical.
We tell each other we want a divorce, but never
Yeah.
took place. We threaten each other with those words.
Oh, and that hurts
know.
alone.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. And
You
I mean,
know.
it was always trust issues.
Yeah.
Where you been, where you're going,
Yes.
how long you gonna be.
Where were you?
I couldn't call. I didn't get it. Why didn't you pick up your phone? It was always an issue
Wow.
of some sort. That went on, and it was so easy to say, "Hey, listen, I don't need you.
Yeah.
We don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You go your way, I'll go mine. I don't care."
We were both fine with it.
Yeah.
That's just how bad it got,
Wow.
And there was a point to where I said, I had enough, but
Yeah.
God came in the picture. He came in, and otherwise we wouldn't have been together.
Right. Yeah.
You wouldn't have stayed together.
No.
See,
No,
I want
no.
everybody to understand that when Christ comes, because it happened to me too.
Yeah.
I was on the verge of divorce 4 times
Yeah.
before Christ came on the scene
Yeah.
and changed my life around.
Yes.
And changed everything. Listen, when I tell you, the change in me inspired the change in my marriage. people get the wrong idea. Don't think that the other person has to change and then you'll be all good. It doesn't work that way.
We try to change each other. You can't.
You can't, right? You can't even change yourself.
No, that's true.
And
That's
so
right.
you get that
That's
in
right.
your head, you try and try and try, and it only gets worse.
It only gets worse.
It only gets worse.
But one of the good things was when we both were missing something. We knew that, and when we went to church and accepted Christ, it was great. It was like a new beginning because we had something to share new together, and we just grew in it, in Him. And it was something we shared together. We had conversation, we had peace and joy. It was just amazing. It was just a new something, just a new world opened up to us, and we fell deeper in love more than we ever was. And
Wow.
yeah, and I mean, it started to be about the other one.
Yes.
And I think we were at one point we were actually working to see who could do the most for each other, you know what I mean? Instead of the opposite.
that's
we put one ahead of
amazing.
self. That's
yeah.
what we did.
So I mean,
Excuse me?
We put one ahead of self.
Yeah.
You put
That's
one
what we
ahead
started
of
doing.
self.
It took a while. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say it happened just like that.
No, it doesn't.
But we
It
learn
takes
when
time.
you,
Yeah.
when you read the Word and you soak it in your heart, it changes you.
It changes
It
you.
changes
yeah,
you.
definitely.
And it's, like I said, it's not easy. It takes time, but you stay in the
But
Word.
you were patient with each other through that process, so
Oh,
it really was a
yes.
process.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Because I mean, there, even though we did, there were times where we'd still get in our arguments and our little spats, but the technique that we used to handle it was
Walk
different.
away.
I mean, it took us some time. I mean, we'd get into it, and then we'd walk away, and then you feel that conscious, that little voice inside, and then it got to the point where we'd come back, and I would do things I would never do. I would come back, I would say, I was wrong. I'm sorry, forgive me. I would
Wow.
never do that
You would
before.
never do
no,
that.
No, no, no.
No.
No. This thing could go on. I mean, I slept on the couch for a couple of weeks. It didn't bother me, but
Me either.
it could. We couldn't let that. That was cute.
That was cute.
But it got to the point where it couldn't go on for a day. Like I let it go on. If it went on overnight, I'd have to apologize for it that morning. Couldn't go on like that, or my day wouldn't be right.
I'd give him the silent treatment.
Yeah.
You just give him
It didn't
silence.
bother me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would get, men are different because when I give him the silent treatment, he get more mad at that. He would get more mad. He would get more mad at the silence, and I knew that would get to him.
right.
Right.
So that's
Why?
why I did it.
Wow.
That's how it used to be.
Women do that though.
Yeah.
Women do
We
do
do.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm guilty of that the whole week.
But then you realize, we try not to let the sun go down in anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what the
That's
word
what the
says.
word says.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. So
And then, of course, we have a pastor, Pastor Don Foster, who teaches the men how to treat women.
Right. Yes.
He's very much about treating women with love and courtesy, the way Jesus laid down his life for the church.
yes,
Right, yeah.
And how blessed we are to have a pastor who respects women
Amen.
and teaches the men. I mean, he has this awesome men's ministry, right, on Saturdays,
Absolutely,
and that's incredible. And he teaches them, what love is, and how to be patient, and how to be understanding, and to love your wife the way Jesus
He loves the church.
loves the church. How blessed and fortunate we are.
Oh, yeah.
So going back a little bit, let's just go back for a moment about what happened when Jesus changed your life. What made you decide to go to church? Where did that come from?
Well,
have a
what
story
happened
to
is one time, actually the whole change began. Her and I had plans to go out and party. We were supposed to go out for New Year's Eve on a party together. So I had planned it to argue with her so that we couldn't go, because I wanted to go out and do my thing.
Wait, you planned
Yeah, he
an
did.
argument?
Yeah, so I created,
Wow.
He did it a lot.
I made an argument so that we didn't have to go to this New Year's party together. So, I had a pocket full of money and I was going to have a lot of fun without her. So she went with the in-laws, you know, her sister and her brother-in-law, and they went to the party. And I says, "You go ahead. I'll go. You go your way. I'll go mine."
Wow.
So for some strange reason, I didn't go, and I sit there and I was watching TBN, and something told me to bring in the New Year with God, and that changed everything. And I woke up the next day delivered from everything. And
He said, let's go try Yorktown Assembly of God. He goes, I want to go up there again. We went there one time before, but then we just went and then straight out again. And then that night, that morning when I came home, he said, I want to try Yorktown Assembly of God again. I said, well, I'm your wife. I'll follow you wherever you want to go. So we went up, and we've been there ever since about 14 years now, right?
Yeah.
About 14 years.
So you had a plan that you were going to go out
yeah,
and party it up.
yeah.
You're going to party.
Yes.
Well, day had
Yes.
a pocket
Party.
full of money.
Money.
Yeah.
I was gonna have fun till the sun came up.
To
And,
the funds. And so why didn't you just leave the house?
because I don't know. I was there. I was waiting for, you know, time. I was gonna go out, you know, about 10, 11 o'clock.
Oh, you were waiting for time to pass. And
Yeah, because you know, and because she didn't leave until what, about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So I was waiting for her to go, and then I was gonna go, and then I was just running through the channels, and I don't know what happened. I hit TBN, and I started hearing some music that I heard when I was a child growing up, and that kind of kept me there for a while.
Wow. And in the morning you were delivered.
Yeah, I woke up the next day, and I had no desire for any drugs, any drink, any cigarettes.
Praise God.
There was a peace and a calmness in me I knew had been changed.
Wow.
And when she came home, the way I spoke to her and the love I had was different. So yeah, it was a big change, a deliverance, a total
Took the words right out of my
deliverance,
mouth.
because I chose him instead of going out and getting into mischief.
Wow. And when you did you immediately recognize that change?
Yeah.
Did you were like, what happened?
Yes. Yeah, I was like, it's his testimony, I'm a witness to it. And I was like, wow, I said, you know, Lord, just thank you, you know, because it's been going on for a while in our relationship.
Had you had God in your life beforehand, or
I was, you know,
you knew about God?
I knew about God. I didn't have that personal relationship with him.
So what did you think when he all of a sudden out of nowhere changed? You were willing to right then and there go to church.
Yes.
You just wanted it.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I couldn't take it no more. You know, we actually had gone and he didn't come home for like 2 days. So we fought that day. We were supposed to go to the ballroom down in this place we were going to. So, you know, when he got home, I was mad, of course, you know. And then, so he's still willing to go back out again. And I said, you know what, I'm going, you know. So I went with my family, and when I came home, he was home. I was like, didn't expect that, you know.
Wow. You really thought he was going to be
just gone.
Gone. He
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
He gone.
Like not the first time,
Yeah.
not the second, you know. So we went through tough periods. And then when I seen that change, it just, I said, I know it's you, Lord. I know it is.
And did that make God real to you at that point?
Yeah, it did. And for me to say, out wherever you want to go, let's go. I had enough.
I had enough.
He had enough. You know, we had enough.
Isn't that something? See,
Yeah.
God, he's so good. He just and he reaches us right where we're at.
Yes.
And your heart was crying out. You didn't even realize.
Exactly.
You were
yeah.
searching. Now you're out. She's not fulfilling your needs. You're searching. So you're looking to go out because you want to have a good time because you think that that's going to make you feel better.
Yes.
And here the Lord says, I got something better for you.
Exactly.
Amen.
And it did. It was just like a hurricane took over and just mixed up everything, and everything was new and different, and it was great, actually. I mean, I love the experience. I love the changes, and it's just, I don't have the words of gratitude and joy, and it's just amazing. And the way that we can communicate now, and the peace
horrible.
and the trust.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. The peace and the trust.
Yeah.
To be able to trust that when you leave the house, he's not cheating on you.
Yeah.
And the trust to know that she's not going to just walk out on you.
Right.
I mean, that in itself must bring life
It does.
in your marriage.
Yes.
I mean, that alone
Yeah.
is just such a great feeling to know that you
It's
can
a wonderful
rely
feeling.
on each other.
Well, the thing is, once you learn that, you learn in Christ how, he's always with you. He's always with you, and when you fall in love with him, it enhances our marriage. So pleasing him is like pleasing her. It causes you to always be aware of her and Christ, and that you have to answer to a higher power. And it keeps you on that path of it keeps you growing.
It keeps you growing.
It keeps you growing.
And no desire to go back to that old life.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
So did your family see the change in you?
Yes, absolutely.
And
I mean, yes, absolutely. There are times like each year, like this time of the year, we have like breakfasts, and we invite the family over, and they're like, we're gonna get preached to today. Yeah.
So we're wondering if they're going to come this year. We don't know.
We don't know. We got to put the inmates out and see if we're going to have any comers this year.
well, that being a witness in just your actions and love is good too.
Yeah, they see the peace.
Yeah, they see the piece. So
Yeah.
they know.
I see the changes.
Yeah, the changes. I mean, they've got to see
Absolutely.
So, the people that you were going to go out with, when you didn't show up that night, did they ever call you and say, "Yo, what's up? Where are you?"
No. Basically, I didn't have anyone that I was planning on meeting.
Oh, okay. You were just going
yeah,
out.
I
You were
was
just
a
going
lone
out.
runner.
And whatever it was going to be, it was going to
exactly.
be. Wow.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if you had gone out that night, that something might have happened.
Well, it's possible, but if
Lord-
I would have went out that night, I know what wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been delivered. I wouldn't have started my walk. I know that wouldn't have happened if I would have went out. So I'm not really concerned of what didn't happen.
Well, what I'm saying is maybe it's possible the Lord saved your life that night.
Yes.
That's possible.
Yes.
There's been many occasions
Oh, yeah.
where I know for a fact that he did. He stepped in. I look back on my life, there were some times when I know for a fact that God saved me from guns and craziness. Street.
Oh, you had street stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I grew up in a really rough neighborhood, and I was involved in drugs and, things that wasn't, always in the perimeters of law. So, yeah, I grew up in, and I knew that there was occasions where God definitely protected me, even when I wasn't.
Now that you look back.
Absolutely.
Now you
can
look back
see
and
it.
you see.
Yeah.
Your
I
eyes
know.
are
I
open.
can spot them myself too.
Absolutely.
That just even driving in a car, and all of a sudden, you know that you're getting in an accident, and it doesn't. I mean, I remember one time myself, a car pulled out, and I was driving, and I had a big Suburban at that time, and I remember the car pulled out, and I had nowhere to go but up an embankment, and there was a telephone pole, and you know that piece of that slanted thing that goes to hold up the pole or whatever, there's a wire or whatever.
Absolutely.
I don't know how it happened. I had a big Suburban. I went right through that. Like, but that was not big enough, that opening between the telephone pole and that wire to take the and I went right through it, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. The car wasn't scratched.
Amazing.
Now, I don't know how that, and I look back, and after I got out of the car, I was like, how could that have happened?
Yeah. Her and I were last year, we were driving down the street. A deer came running. We impact.
Yeah.
We braced ourselves
Braced
for the
yourself,
impact.
waiting for the hit.
And then all of a sudden, no deer.
No deer.
No
You
deer.
see, that's what
No deer.
happens.
That's a fact.
No
we
deer.
we braced ourselves
Yes.
for the impact.
Because I was driving, I'm like, oh my gosh, and then
And here it is.
And then no
I'm like,
deer.
and I went like this. I went, where'd it go?
Exactly.
I said, oh my God. I said,
That's a
thank
fact.
you. You know, just you got to thank them.
I know, and people don't realize, you know, it's so sad that people think that Christ is just all about, you know, rules and regulations when it's not.
It's of
No,
love.
yes,
He
love,
loves us.
protection,
Yes.
peace, joy.
That's right.
And not that we don't still go through trials
Sure we
and
do.
tribulations. We do, but we go through it. He walks us through it,
Yes.
knowing, and we know that we have the victory on the other side.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's the difference.
Yes.
You know, religion is all about rules and regulations. Religion is man's search for God.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is about a personal relationship, you know, with him
Amen.
that, you know, I wouldn't trade for anything.
No.
Right. I know one thing. One of the good things is, you know, with this Bible, this thing is like a 3D mirror. You know, you see your past, you see your present, and you see your future. You know, and I love this mirror, you see, because I can find myself in it. I can find what I used to be. I can find where I am now, and I can find where what I'm gonna be. You know?
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so all in, because everything has been true. He's fulfilled it. I love it. I love everything I love everything that where I came from, where I am, and where I'm going.
Where you're going.
It's just amazing, and that's where my joy is, where I'm going.
I know.
Yeah.
Our joy comes
Yes.
from knowing our eternal reward
Yes.
and that we will live forever.
Yes.
I mean, it really is an incredible journey to be on with Christ. And I just thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
And
Pleasure.
thank you for telling your story and opening up. And I know that there's so much more to the story,
Yeah.
but you really have gotten some good points down for us. And
Okay.
I thank you very much for coming.
Thank
Glad
you for
to be
asking
able to
us.
Blessings.
share,
You're
yeah.
a blessing. A blessing to the church as
Yeah.
well. Thank you so much. Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you, Kim.
Listen, I have something to read to you. There is, I read something in the New York Post about Norman Mailer, the author. The author, on the month that he died, Norman Mailer had some advice for the lovelorn. He had a book come out. His last book was On God, an Uncommon Conversation. He's a 2-time Pulitzer winner who died. He writes, "It struck me that everyone I knew, including myself, was always looking for love. Ah, if I could find love, it would solve my problems. But some years ago, however, I found myself saying to my children, don't go searching for love. Love is not a solution, but a reward. So long as you go searching for love directly, you will fail, because love is a grace." Who doesn't want love in their life? And when someone is searching for love, they are really searching for God. See, that's the thing. God is love. And the only way that you can really understand and experience true love is through God, because He is love. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And there is no other way. And I'm going to ask you to ask God to come into your heart and make him Lord of your life, and I promise you he will. I thank you so much for watching us on Lost on the Way Home. Please visit us on YouTube and Facebook, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
You touched my heart, you touched my soul, and helped me start all over again. That's why I love you, Jesus. That's why